To get started, you want to take your button and you want to thread on your cords. So I'm going to start with the shortest cord, and this one isn't a corresponding colour, but because it's covered up the whole time you can use any colour that you want. So I've decided to use up a little bit of scrap cord. So you want to thread it onto your button and then match the ends and then pull it to get it to the centre in your button. And then you want to do the same thing with your other cords. So once you've threaded on all your cords, it should look something like this. So next you can take your board. You want to clip your button to the top of your board. And then you want to arrange your threads, your cords, sorry, in the right colour order. So you want to take the same colour at either side. You want to do this for the longest cords, so you want the longest cords on the outside. And then you want to take the shortest cords and you can clip these to the bottom of your board. So then you want to pick which colour you want to start with. So you're always going to leave one cord at either side free. So for this one, I'm going to clip this cord along with the shortest cords. And then I want to start my knotting sequence. So I'm just doing square knots down here. So I'm going to go over with this cord, and over with this cord, and then pull it up to the top of the button. And to complete the square knot I want to go under with this cord and then under with this cord and then pull through. So that's your first square knot done, and then you want to do the same thing again. And then complete your second square knot. So I'm going to do 4 square knots working down for the first part of my pattern, but you can do more or less if you prefer. So once you've done your first set of square knots, you can remove your cords from the bottom of the board. And then you want to knot this side. So you want to take this cord that you've just worked with and clip this to the bottom of the board with your shortest cords. And this time you're going to leave this one out, and then you're going to take this one and you're going to do the same thing again. So you're going to go over with this cord and then over with this one, and then pull it through. And then to complete square knot you're going to go under and then under with this cord and through. And then you want to do the same amount of square knots here as you did there. So once you've done this section, you can go back to what you were doing at the beginning. So you're going to take this one off the clips and then clip this one with the shortest cords again. And you're going to repeat what you did for the beginning section. So you're going to take this cord and leave this one free. And you're going to do the same amount of square knots you did in each section before. And you want to keep repeating these sections until you've got the bracelet as long as you want it. So once you've got the bracelet as long as you want it, you want to make your buttonhole. So to do this, you want to split your cords into 2, and then you want to take one side and leave your outside cord free, and then clip the rest to the bottom of the board, and then you want to do hitch knots to create the first half of your buttonhole. So you want to go over and through, and then under and through. And you want to keep repeating these until you've got a space that's big enough to fit your button through. And how big that will be will depend on the size of your button, so it is a good idea to measure as you go along. You just want to do your hitch knots at this side, and then you want to do the same thing at the other side and do an equal amount of knots. So once you've done a big enough space for your buttonhole, you can remove the cords from the bottom of the board, and then you want to take all your cords in the centre and leave one cord out at each side. And you want to clip these to the bottom of your board, and then you want to do a couple of square knots just to fasten your buttonhole together. So once you're happy that everything's nice and secure, you can remove your bracelet from the board. And then you want to trim and seal any excess. So I'm going to be using a lighter to seal here, but you could use glue if you preferred. And once you've finished, you should end up with something that looks like this. So now you just want to try on your bracelet, and that is your completed macrame bracelet.